What if I told you that most people don't retire too early? They retire too late, they wait until their health is failing, their relationships are strained, and their energy is gone before finally saying, now it's time to enjoy life. By then, the moment has already passed. The truth is, you were never meant to grind for the rest of your life. You were meant to work for a season, build wisely, and then actually live. Hi, I'm David, and in today's video, we're going to break down why waiting too long to retire is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, and how you can reframe retirement into the best chapter of your life. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. What's the real reason you're still working right now? Is it because you truly love what you do? Or is it because you're afraid of what life will look like without it? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see where everyone's at, and your reply might help someone else watching this too. Let me tell you something I've seen over and over again. Most people don't leave their job because they can't afford to. They stay because they're afraid of losing structure, afraid of losing identity, afraid of waking up one morning with nowhere to go and nothing to do. And I get it. When you've spent 30, 40, even 50 years working, your job becomes more than just a paycheck. It's your routine. It's your sense of value. It's the people you spend more time with than even your family. But here's the dangerous part. If you cling to that structure for too long, life passes you by. I've spoken with so many people who said, I thought I'd work until 65 or 70, but by the time I left, I was too exhausted, too unhealthy, or too disconnected from the things I actually cared about. That's not retirement, that's regret. See, there are really three big traps that keep people stuck in jobs far longer than they should. 1, structure. The comfort of routine, meetings, deadlines, and responsibilities. It feels safe, but it can also keep you from discovering what's next. 2, old definitions of success. For decades, success meant promotions, paychecks, and recognition. But in retirement, that version of success doesn't work anymore. You need a new definition. 3, I'll figure it out later. Mindset. So many people walk into retirement with no plan, and then they drift, they get bored, they get unhealthy, and many even go back to work. Not because they need the money, but because they never designed their next chapter. This is why so many retirees fail. Not financially, but emotionally. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. You can walk into retirement with purpose, with energy, and with a plan that actually makes this next chapter the best years of your life. Quick question for you. If you had unlimited free time starting tomorrow, what's the very first thing you'd do differently with your day? Leave your answer in the comments because your idea might inspire someone else watching this right now. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Retirement isn't about leaving something, it's about stepping into something new. For centuries, the word retirement meant one thing: to withdraw, to retreat, to step away from life. Back in the 1500s, people retired and then they usually didn't live long after. But that definition doesn't work anymore. We're living longer, we're healthier, and we have more opportunities than any generation before us. So instead of calling it retirement, I want you to think of it as your discovery years, because that's what this next chapter really is. A chance to rediscover who you are without the title on your business card. A chance to explore passions you never had time for while working. A chance to redefine success, not as money or promotions, but as peace, joy, health, relationships, and fulfillment. Think about it. Because for 30 or 40 years, you were building skills, problem solving, leadership, teamwork, perseverance. Those don't disappear just because you leave your job. You get to redeploy them, but this time towards things that light you up. Maybe that's starting a small business around your hobby. Maybe it's teaching or mentoring the next generation. Maybe it's traveling, volunteering, or finally writing that book you've been thinking about for 20 years. This phase of life can actually be the best phase of your life if you design it intentionally. But here's the catch. You can't stumble into it. If you just say, I'll figure it out when I get there, you're setting yourself up for boredom and frustration, you have to design this chapter. That means auditing your energy. What gives you life? What drains you? Build more of the first, cut out the second. Defining fulfillment. What does a meaningful day actually look like for you? Aligning with your partner. Are you both dreaming the same dream, or are you heading in two different directions? Because let's be honest, nobody wants to spend the next 20 or 30 years living just an okay life. This is your chance to create an extraordinary one. So here's a challenge for you. Imagine you're writing the first page of the next chapter of your life. What would the title be? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to read them. And you might even give someone else the courage to write their own. So let's bring this all together. If you want your retirement or your discovery years to actually be the best part of your life, here are some powerful steps you can start today. 1. Audit your energy. Write down the parts of your job that give you energy and the parts that drain you. That's your roadmap for what to carry forward and what to leave behind. 2. Journal about fulfillment. Ask yourself, what would a truly meaningful day look like? Keep writing until you get clear. The more clarity you have now, the more intentional you'll be later. 3. Talk to someone who's already retired and thriving. Buy them lunch, ask them what worked, what didn't, and how they found their purpose again. Learn from people on the other side. 4. Align with your partner. Retirement isn't just about money, it's about vision. Are you both dreaming of the same future, or do you need to find common ground? Remember this, retirement isn't the end, it's a rebirth. You already have the skills, the wisdom, and the resilience. Now, it's about designing a life that's not just okay, but deeply fulfilling. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.